Imagine you haven't participated in a certain contest in 22 years as a country, and you want to somehow make it a memorable experience. What would you do to get back on the world stage? I don't really know what I would do, but I know what Zimbabwe did in the Miss Universe pageant Zimbabwe. Now, as you guys know, Miss Universe is something that's a global pageant. Over 90 countries participate every year, and there's one winner. But in order for you to qualify, you need to win your nation as Miss Universe. And typically, and pretty much somebody who wins that country, they're indigenous to those roots. That's the word I'm looking for, indigenous. Now, when we talk about indigenous, we mean that your roots can be found there. But that's not how it always works with these Miss Universe pageants. In 2019, we had a black lady win Miss Ireland. She's not necessarily indigenous. And then you had people like Vanessa Williams who won the Miss USA pageant. You know, we could argue if she's indigenous to that place, but you get what I'm saying, right? So every now and then you have something a little different. But Zimbabwe has 14 million people. And the person that won this pageant in Zimbabwe is Miss Brooke Bruk-Jackson, a woman who is white, and 98% of the population is black. And all of social media is pissed off, including a video clip like this.
Now, of course, people are shocked that the new winner of Miss Universe, Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. Some thought it was a TikTok prank. Others thought it was a Candace Owens commercial for skin bleaching cream. Some folks were like, I didn't know there was a Zimbabwe in Sweden, because this a Miss Norway, a Miss Dutch, Miss Germany, Miss France. Many are wondering, how did Miss Jackson become Miss Zimbabwe? What in the Last Samurai Avatar, the Great Wall, is going on? Hollywood already has some scripts waiting for her. The first script is The Queen of Zimbabwe. Second script, Blindside 2, The Rescue. Zimbabwe had been out of the Miss Universe competition for over 22 years, only to come back and let Miss Brooke Bruk-Jackson take the crown. And she didn't even have to Rachel Dolezal her way into the competition in a country where less than 1% of the population is Pilgrim. Is that a photo of Miss Jackson eating fufu to let y'all know she down with the cold?
And there are others like this.
I don't understand why everyone's moaning that Brooke won Miss Zimbabwe. She did well. What, just because she's white, she doesn't deserve to be Miss Zimbabwe? The poor girl was born in Zimbabwe. She's Zimbabwean. Her citizenship is Zimbabwean. But people are trying to disqualify her based on the colour of her skin. I don't get it, because we cry when we receive unfair treatment, but we want to give it. I've been in the pageant industry for over a decade now, and one of my titles was Miss Surrey, and this was a while ago, right? And I was the first black woman to represent my region in the Miss Great Britain finals. The amount of people that were pissed off that I was black and I was representing Surrey, which is considered one of the most prestigious counties in the entirety of the United Kingdom, was absurd. And even then, I am not British born.
And the outrage is crazy. I mean, you even have people on the conservative side who are actually glad that this is happening because it shows some level of diversity, and this clip talks about it.
Controversy as the Miss Zimbabwe for 2023 is not how you would think a Zimbabwean woman would look, okay? She's actually white, but she's an African woman, okay? And despite being an African woman who earned her way to the crown, you have the woke revolutionaries upset, right? They're upset in droves, right? Because a white woman is not supposed to win a beauty pageant in an African country, right? It's supposed to be a dark, melanated woman, okay? She's taking away a spot from a...
But what's the real reason why she won? I mean, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of debate. She shut down her comments and she's thankful for the opportunity to represent Zimbabwe. So they had the apartheid system very similar to South Africa when they had Ian Smith as a prime minister. And we know how Zimbabwe has struggled to get back on its feet. especially with controversial former president who's now late, Robert Mugabe, taking away the land from white farmers and giving it back to the black farmers. And that's where I want to kind of start today's discussion. Why is the real reason why she, the lady, won Miss Zimbabwe? I think I'll tell you why I believe it is. Number one, isn't it odd that they have not participated in this pageant for 22 years? And when they decide to participate in this pageant, a white lady wins? Why is that? Because Zimbabwe, in my honest opinion, they're still under sanctions. They're still under the same sanctions almost that they had when Mugabe was president. Now, Emerson Mnangagwa, I know I messed his name up pretty bad, but he's in his second term now. Zimbabweans are experiencing a tough time. Many of them are fleeing to South Africa, and it's been causing a big drama between Zimbabwe and South Africa. And a lot of that is political corruption that's still going on in Zimbabwe. But Zimbabwe would love to get on the world stage and be a part of the international community again. And one of the ways they can do that is to show, hey, listen, we still have white people here and we want to be included so bad that, hey, listen, a white woman has won this pageant. So could you please reduce these sanctions because our people are dying. We need to support our 14 million people here in Zimbabwe, which is one of the poorest places on earth. And this is our way to show you that, hey, listen, we're pretty sorry about what happened with Mugabe and the land issues, but we want something on the world stage. Please reduce those restrictions for us so that we can continue and become a great place like we used to be in the past. That's what I believe. It is a political situation. Now, as far as the black Zimbabweans being upset, goddamn right, they have every right to be upset. And I know what people are going to say, well, hell, listen, you have these people that are in other places, like Switzerland or Sweden, and you have some of these ladies, even I've seen some trans people that when, miss something over there. And I get that people are trying to be fair. But the reality is Zimbabwe is already not being treated fair. Zimbabweans already don't have a lot. They're already suffering. They've already been in sanctions. I lived in Poland, and if you don't know, the biggest black population in Poland is, you guessed it, it's Zimbabweans, right? They're now so deep in London, it's crazy. So all of these people are really trying to, keep to their heritage, keep to their culture, and still being proud of who they are despite the things that have happened to them. And yet what you can give them to be participating in the world stage is somebody else who really shouldn't be there and who is not indigenous to that place. That lady is not a Zimbabwean, right? And we all get that. But these are the politics that the ZANU-PF, I believe, they're trying to play to get back on the world stage, to get some of those sanctions off, to basically be able to build Zimbabwe up again, and to get a lot of respect in the international community. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to play the game. And it's up for you to decide. I wouldn't do it, but hey, it's what they're trying to do. So guys, you comment below. Am I wrong about this? I could be. I'm not sure. Subscribe to King Gandhi. It's your boy, Brooke Bruk-Jackson. I'm out.